1800 hours, Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Farzana Khan. First, the headlines. Yawm-e-Istehsal was observed across the country today to express solidarity with the oppressed people of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir on completion of 3 years of military siege by India. Kashmiris on both sides of the line of control and world over also observed Yawm-e-Istehsal today to register their protest against illegal actions of Indian government taken on this day in 2019. Foreign Minister, in a letter to Secretary General Organization of Islamic Cooperation, called upon the OIC to lead diplomatic efforts for finding a lasting solution to the Jammu and Kashmir dispute. Prime Minister says the federal and provincial governments are working together for relief of the flood-affected people. Pakistan has reiterated its principled position of remaining a strong partner in all endeavors for peace, stability and development in the region and the world. China halts cooperation with the United States in a number of areas, including suspension of high-level military dialogue. And now the news in detail. Yawm-e-Istehsal was observed across the country today to mark the completion of third year of Indian military siege of the illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir and denounce India's illegal, immoral and unconstitutional step to strip its special status. A series of activities, including seminars, conferences and rallies, were held across the country and the world today to mark the Yawm-e-Istehsal and express solidarity with the oppressed people of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. People from all walks of life participated in these events. The whole nation gave a message to their Kashmiri brethren that the people of Pakistan will always stand with them in their just struggle for right to self-determination and against the atrocities committed by the Indian forces. On August 5, 2019, the Modi-led Bharatiya Janata Party government struck down Articles 370 and 35A of the Indian Constitution, thereby scrapping the law that granted Kashmir its special status. Kashmiris on both sides of the line of control and the world over observed Yawm-e-Istehsal today to register their protest against illegal action of Indian government taken on this day in 2019. Chairman All Parties Hurriyat Conference Musarrat Alam Bhatt, in a message from an Indian jail, said August 5, 2019 is one of the blackest days in occupied territory. In Azad Jammu and Kashmir, rallies and protest demonstrations were held across the state to condemn India's illegal actions and atrocities against innocent Kashmiris. In the capital Muzaffarabad, a protest rally led by Prime Minister Tanveer Ilyas was taken out from Old Secretariat, which culminated at the UN Observer Mission office. The UN Observer Mission officials were handed over a memorandum containing Indian violations of UN resolutions on Kashmir and international law. To condemn India's illegal and unilateral steps in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the international community and Pakistan's diplomatic missions abroad expressed solidarity with Kashmiris. Special events and rallies were held in various countries to raise voice against the unilateral actions of 5th of August 2019 and those taken afterwards that demonstrated sheer disregard for international law, views of the international community and aspirations of Kashmiri people. The participants exposed the Indian state terrorism against Kashmiris through numerous reports and video evidence recorded and presented by credible human rights and humanitarian organizations as well as international media. The Senate today unanimously passed a resolution urging international community to review its engagement with India, which is disregarding international humanitarian laws and resolutions on Kashmir dispute. The resolution, moved by Leader of the House Azam Nazir Tarar, recommended the government to expedite its diplomatic efforts to highlight the Kashmir dispute at the UN Human Rights Council. The resolution strongly rejected India's illegal and unilateral actions of 5th of August 2019, saying these are in direct violation of the UN Security Council resolutions and aimed at changing the democratic structure of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Foreign Office spokesperson Asim Iftikhar Ahmed says Pakistan will always raise voice for Kashmiris and their right to self-determination at all fora, including the United Nations and other international human rights organizations. In an exclusive interview with Radio Pakistan's correspondent Haider Baloch today, he said the nation and Pakistan's embassies across the world are voice of Kashmiris, paying rich tributes to the unwavering struggle of the people of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. He expressed the hope that Kashmiris will succeed in achieving their dreams. The spokesperson urged India to stop its brutality in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir and implement the UN resolutions regarding plebiscite in the territory. This is Radio Pakistan giving you the news. Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari has written a letter to the OIC Secretary General on the alarming situation in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir following India's unilateral and illegal measures in the occupied territory on this day in 2019. The letter, addressed to the OIC Secretary General Hussain Brahim Taha, says India's illegal measures ensued in additional unlawful actions, including illegal demographic changes and grave atrocities, including incarceration of Kashmiri leadership, extrajudicial killings, enforced disappearances, arbitrary detentions, and staged cordon and search operations. The foreign minister said India's actions are in blatant violation of the international law, including relevant UNSC resolutions as well as the OIC resolutions. Organization of Islamic Cooperation has reiterated its call for implementation of UN Security Council resolutions on Jammu and Kashmir. According to a press release issued today by General Secretariat of the OIC, this day marks the third anniversary of the illegal and unilateral actions taken in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, which were followed by additional unlawful measures, including illegal demographic changes. He said such illegal actions can neither alter the disputed status of Jammu and Kashmir nor prejudice the legitimate right to self-determination of the Kashmiri people. The OIC reaffirmed its solidarity with the Kashmiri people in the realization of their inalienable right to self-determination. Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif has asked concerned authorities to make all possible efforts for rehabilitation of the flood-affected people in Dera Ghazi Khan and Rajanpur. Addressing the flood-affected people in Kot Chatta, Dera Ghazi Khan today, he assured that construction of their houses and compensation of their crops would be given priority. The Prime Minister said both the federal and provincial governments are working for relief of the affected families. Pakistan has reiterated its principled position of remaining a strong partner in all endeavors for peace, stability and development in the region and the whole world. Addressing the 29th ASEAN Regional Forum ministerial meeting in Phnom Penh, Cambodia today, Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari emphasized on win-win solutions instead of strategic competition among the countries in the region. He said a peaceful and stable Asia-Pacific is a priority for Pakistan and the region should not become an arena for strategic competition. The Foreign Minister said Pakistan is ready to work with all ARF partners to strengthen this ASEAN-led forum and to develop its linkages with other international platforms for conflict prevention. China is halting cooperation with the United States in a number of areas, including dialogue between senior-level military commanders and climate talks in retaliation of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan. China's foreign ministry, in a statement today, said that it also suspended cooperation with Washington on prevention of cross-border crime and drug trafficking and repatriating illegal migrants. China also cancelled a planned bilateral meeting on a maritime military security mechanism. And now, finally, the weather report. Rain with wind and thunder showers is expected at isolated places in Upper Punjab, Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Sindh, North and East Balochistan and Kashmir during the next 12 hours. However, hot and humid weather is likely to prevail in most parts of the country. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.